Hey everyone, my name is Becca and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you are here. If you've been with us before, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, welcome. We do First Chapter Friday read alouds. And today we will be doing The Shape of Thunder by Jasmine Warga. If you are not familiar with Jasmine Warga, she has written a ton of great books. Other Words for Home, Here We Are Now. Lots of great stuff that come from Jasmine Warga. The Rover Story, which is a newer book. So I am super excited to be sharing the first chapter of this book with you today. Now, this book's a bit heavy. This book deals with the topic of a school shooting, which, as we all can imagine, is a difficult thing to talk about and to read about. But that being said, let's go ahead and dive in, and we will start by reading the synopsis on the inside front cover. Cora hasn't spoken to her best friend Quinn in a year. Despite living next door to each other, they exist in separate worlds of grief. Cora is still grappling with the death of her beloved sister in a school shooting, and Quinn is carrying the guilt of what her brother did. On the day of Cora's 12th birthday, Quinn leaves a box on her doorstep with a note. She has decided that the only way to fix things is to go back in time to the moment before her brother changed all their lives forever and stop him. In spite of herself, Cora wants to believe, and so the two former friends begin working together to open a wormhole in the fabric of the universe. But as they attempt to unravel the mysteries of time travel to save their siblings, they learn that the magic of their friendship may actually be the key to saving themselves. All right, so like I said, this is a heavy book. You have your two main characters, one of them whose sibling was killed in a school shooting, and the other whose brother was responsible for the school shooting. All right, let's dive into that first chapter. So the chapters do go back and forth from the perspectives of the different characters. So chapter 1 is written from Cora's perspective. I like learning things, especially about math and science, because they help explain why the world is the way it is. A famous mathematician once said, "Mathematics is the music of reason." I've always believed that. The best thing about math is that it makes sense. The actual best thing about math is that everything adds up, all neat and in order. Here's what I know about the number 12. 12 is 4 times 3. 12 is 6 times 2. 12 is 10 plus 2. This is all simple math, right? Elementary school stuff. Reason and logic. 12 is also 2 less than 14. 14 is how old Mabel was when she died. I am 12 today. Someday in the future, I will be more than 12 plus 2. I will become older than my older sister. There is no music in that fact. There is absolutely no reason. It does not add up, all neat and in order. You ready, Corey? Dad asks as he slipped on his navy windbreaker. Grams is standing beside him in her puffy red coat. It's not even cold outside, and she's been wearing it for 10 minutes already. Grams is always ready before everyone else. We really don't have to go. Of course we do. Dad gives me a smile, and I know it's supposed to look encouraging, but I can see the sadness leaking out behind it. Don't be silly, Grams says, draping an arm around my shoulder and pulling me close enough to her that I can smell her hair that always smells like lemons. Grams is the only person I know who washes their hair with a bar of soap instead of shampoo. We always go to Pete's. This is true. Going to Pete's for birthdays has been a Hamid family tradition for as long as I can remember. We go, all 4 of us. Grams, Dad, Mabel, and me. We sit in the same back corner booth with one saggy cushion and order chocolate milkshakes and extra large pizza. Whoever's birthday it is gets to pick the pizza toppings. For Mabel's, we'd always get barbecue chicken. Dad usually picks veggies, though I think he only does that because he's trying to get everyone to eat more vegetables. When Mabel and I were younger, he printed off a copy of the nutrition guide, circled the vegetable and fruit section, and hung it up on her wall. Mabel let it stay there for a day before ripping it down and replacing it with a picture of a rainbow she'd drawn at school. Grams usually chooses whatever the monthly special is, and me? I pick cheese. Mabel used to say that cheese was boring, and well, the truth is, I'm a little bit boring. Boring is okay with me. Boring is safe. Boring is your sister coming home from school like you expect her to. What's this? Graham says. She's been idling on the porch, whereas Dad and I have already made it halfway down to the driveway where Dad's car is parked. She picks up a cardboard box. There's a thick piece of duct tape running diagonal across it to keep it shut. Sweet pea, it has your name on it. Must be a birthday present. I give her a confused look. There's no one besides Grams or Dad who would get me a birthday present. Maybe Owen. My stomach flips a little at the thought, and then I feel guilty. Now, of all times, it's not right for my body to be doing the fizzy thing it does when I think of him. Graham studies the box, holding it out toward me. I know exactly who the box is from the moment I see the chunky handwriting that slopes to the left. A sticky knot forms in my throat. Grams must recognize the handwriting too because she says, "Oh, it's from Quinn. Did you invite her to come with us to Pete's?" Grams asks. She casts a quick glance toward Quinn's house, which is right next door, like it has always been, even though I spent the last 10 months trying to pretend like it doesn't exist. I shake my head. I can't bring myself to say words. Grams should know I didn't invite Quinn. I haven't talked to her since that day. The day Mabel died, November 11th. Dad clears his throat. You could have invited her. I know I'm about to get another big lecture from Dad and Grams about how I should still be friends with Quinn Macaulay. The conversation always goes the same way. They tell me I shouldn't hold what Quinn's brother did against her, that Mabel wouldn't want me to punish Quinn. The thing is, though, deep down, I think Mabel would hold a grudge against Quinn and she'd expect me to, too. It's not that my sister was mean or anything, but she was what grown-ups call a force. When she got mad, she stayed mad, even about silly, stupid things. She never forgave David Wilkes for breaking the ceramic bird she made in the second grade. And she never forgave Addison Taylor for wearing the exact same red glittery dress as her to the 8th grade end of the year dance. Mabel wasn't always nice. She got mad a lot. Those two things are facts. You simply can't argue with them. That's one of the things I hate most about Mabel being gone. People want to remember her differently, perfectly. She was Mabel, my sister, my favorite person in the whole world. But she wasn't perfect. I want to remember her as she was. My memory of my sister is a triangle made up of bold lines, but also sharp angles. And everyone else wants to remember her as a boring and simple circle. I open the car door and slide into the back seat. Graham holds on to the package from Quinn, cradling it in her lap as Dad steers the car out of the driveway. I keep sneaking glances at the box, wondering what could possibly be inside, even though I don't want to think about it. I don't want to be thinking about the Macaulay family at all. Outside the car window, the sun is hanging low in the sky, about to slip below the horizon, and it's making a hazy orange trail. We drive by tree-lined streets and manicured postage stamp-sized lawns where leaves have been raked into neat piles by the curb. September, my birthday month. It used to mean new school supplies, freshly sharpened pencils, and blank notebooks. School used to be a place that was safe, a place where I learned things. But last year, I learned the worst thing. No place is really safe. So these days, when I think of September, I think of it as the time of the year when night starts earlier and lasts longer. A darkness that comes and doesn't leave. Dad steers the car along the road that will lead us downtown. Chestnut, my hometown, is one of a collection of small Ohio towns that are along the old railway line, which means we have a little downtown type square. It's mostly shops and restaurants with one hardware store and also a new fancy pet food place that just came in. Grams thinks the pet food place is wild. People are feeding their dogs more expensive food than I eat, she says. But the store always seems to be crowded. That's Chestnut for you. Pete's Pizza is in this downtown square. Dad parks the car and we all get out. He holds the restaurant door open for Grams and me. When I walk through, he says, 12. I can't believe my little girl is 12. I'm probably going to have to stop calling you my little girl soon, huh? I blink the tears away from my eyes before Dad can see them. I have to be strong for him. I'm the only Hamid girl left. Dad gently presses his hand into the small of my back. As we walk toward the booth, I look over my shoulder. I spot our car in the front row of the parking lot. In the passenger seat, I can make out the shadowy outline of the cardboard box. The fading sunlight hits it in a way that makes it look like it's winking at me. I take a deep breath and turn my head away. That is the end of chapter 1. Oh, what is going to happen? Is Cora going to open that box? What is going to be inside of it? What did Quinn send her? Will they ever be able to fix their friendship? So many questions, lots of great answers. Definitely grab this book if this first chapter interested you. And if you enjoyed this first chapter Friday, please consider a quick like, quick subscribe. It means the world to me. You have no idea. All right, until next time, happy reading, everyone.